Hey everyone.
Hello there. Hi, Yogesh. Hi.
Good, good. How are you doing?
Yes, fine. Thank you. How are you doing?
All right, I'm playing roulette. Did my audio come across correctly?
It did, and then
Yeah,
oh,
that's good.
video too. And
Kind of random.
yeah,
So, when it works, it's a happy day.
it is.
The small things in life, right? How
Yes,
are you all doing today?
all good. Thank you. How are you
Yeah, good to see you. So, I think, well, are we waiting for people to join?
Yeah, let's ask people if there are any opens, quick ones that we have, anyone has.
doing? Or I mean, do we want to talk about the abstracts we're going to submit, or have already submitted under a fault management working group?
Yeah, I mentioned last time, right? I already submitted abstract uh,
Yeah.
for yeah.
Okay. I'm also doing one in a group. So me and um, Manjunath have tied up, and Shobhita also contributed some. So we're looking at
Yeah,
one
I saw that.
from
Yeah,
Fault
thanks.
Manager. Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should
Uh,
have more slots for hardware management this time if they give us full day. Last time was a little tight, so I asked. And the conference itself is 4 days now, so hopefully we'll have more uh,
Yeah.
interesting presentations like yours.
So, what's the
Great.
topic of yours, Nicole?
Yes, do so. I've given it secure boot. So error handling, or maybe life of a fault, or error handling right from secure boot to BMC. So how errors travel through secure boot, through the secure enclave, making their way through to SRAM circular buffers in the SRAM to SPINOR once we reach the first mutable code, once the ROM jumps to the first mutable code. So even though ROM may not be able to write to SPINOR, but the first mutable code would do. So even errors during seen in the ROM, seen by the ROM, say even the secure enclave finds certain cryptographic crypto engines failing, and which may not be
Yeah,
critical, so they log eventually get logged to Spinor, and uh, then we orchestrate either we also do in-band and then or sideband RAS actions, as well as engage SMI interrupt to notify the BMC. And so I've also given it CXL perspective that the host can fetch those logs via CXL log command, since I've been working on CXL controllers since the past 3 years now. We launched 2 generations of controllers working with both AMD, Intel, and Microsoft, of course, too.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll pitch in that, and I've been working on security. So
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. And one thing we may want to do, for the future is figure out how to factor RAS API into what you're just talking about, because the RAS API for CXL is pretty straightforward. The CXL controller would just be a RAS API endpoint, no big deal. But the secure side of it would be kind of interesting. And my assertion is always that hardware errors are not customer data. We should be able to fix our machines even with any form of secure boot. There should be no permutation of secure anything that prevents us from getting hardware error registers for failures. And so I think it'd be really interesting to see your presentation. I look forward to it. And I would love to
yeah.
see if we can maybe even do a follow on where we say, okay, here's how the RAS API applies.
Okay, certainly. Thank you.
Cool. Well, so yeah, that's cool. Amita and I also are working on one. I think we do. I think you submitted it for us, Yogesh. If you did, I thank you.
Yeah, yeah, that abstract is also in. So good job.
Cool. And we're doing. It's just the poison doc, uh, and and I'm almost done. I'm cleaning up the last comments in the poison doc, hopefully, and I want to put the final version in the shared drive. I put an intermediate version in the shared drive as a PDF, but I'll put the what I think is the near final version in there shortly.
Yeah,
I'm
hey
still
Drew, I'm still unable to access that. It's
Oh,
strange. Have given me access, but once I go to the last step, it doesn't open. But
now that's
you can
okay. Let me
maybe a PDF will
One
help.
on
I don't know.
the OCP PDF one should be at least
yeah, but
accessible
I'd sure like you to have access to
to the world,
you,
right? Yeah.
yeah, do you I don't know if there's some Microsoft Access thing that you need to have. I don't
Yeah, I mean, generally I have access because in the past I I don't know whether this is the right forum to discuss it, but yeah, I have had access to the documents that are shared by Microsoft. So, yeah,
okay.
let's talk about it offline.
Si-
Okay,
Since
I will
since we're mentioning it, Drew, we talked about this a week or two ago with I mentioned it to Rama. You have that behind a Microsoft website with a Microsoft agreement. I was told by my legal not to do that, and I can't do it again. I shouldn't have done it this time. So
thank you
please
for
don't do that. Do it on OCP.
I just wasn't aware. Yeah, I can do that. Um, I'd start as an internal document, that's why. So, yeah,
You can bring the whole docx as it is and upload it to our hardware fault management drive, and you can share
it'll
from
have
there.
sure, it'll have a different URL then, so that's what I will have to work out, but sure.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
end up having two
You can
copies. So,
you can put the URL for the new doc on the top of the old doc
yeah, okay,
inside.
I'll do that. I'll do that. So stay tuned. I will copy that over like later this afternoon after this meeting. Cool. And the
Okay,
poison.
so
Oh,
any other? Go ahead. Sorry, Drew.
I just want to mention one thing too. With the poison doc, uh, we're not trying to be inventive. We're trying to just describe best practices. It's just like it's an educational document on how to avoid pitfalls. So, it's not a proposal or anything. It's just it's educational more than anything else. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yogesh.
So now, just asking anyone has any other opens. Everyone is able to access files and requirements document and whatnot. I think I put all the links in the invite itself, and then from the group IO you have files tab, and from there you can access the Google Drive too. So, but is that any other open from anyone? All right, so let's get started with our regular programming.
Okay. If you want, I can share the doc. And I noticed there's a minor change up higher in the doc that's been in the doc for a few versions, and want to ask people. I think it's just a very obvious but simple mistake. Uh, okay, and nothing big. Um, okay. Uh, I just made this normal text to get rid of the extra headings. So here, this is what I found. If you look right here, under fatal system can execute, there's a 2 with nothing. And I went back for a while and I didn't find it's been there that way a long time. So I don't think there's anything that's there. I think it was just an accident. I don't know. I'm inclined to just delete the space. I can't think of what we're missing. But this isn't new. It's like I think I went back as far as, I don't know, like 10 or 20 versions ago when it was there. I got tired of scrolling. So
I
if
think the
in,
second bullet perhaps was left over from the platform. So if you go one row before, right? So non-fatal, non-recoverable, fatal, specific can execute, fatal, can execute. So the difference between the two fatals, right? System firmware shall capture, yes, CSV shall determine by variation.
I mean, it seems pretty complete. You system firmware logs it and resets.
Yeah, yeah. So this number 2 is not even, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just delete it then. Oh gosh, I don't know what I just did. Wow.
I
I
think
hit a
Yogesh
key.
is also editing and you are editing.
I'm sorry.
I saw Yogesh also trying to edit.
Well, I think there are multiple. Well, okay,
Oh,
someone
maybe
wants,
my name is also okay. Sorry, let me take it off. My
you'll take
Microsoft.
it
Sorry,
out?
no,
Okay, you can take it out.
no,
Whatever.
I removed my cursor.
Oh, okay,
Go ahead,
okay.
go ahead, delete now.
Okay,
Perfect. Thank you.
there we go. Now, okay, that was minor, no big deal, but I just, before we release this, we need to, catch little things like that if we can. Okay, and then the next section was right here. Oh, and something happened to the picture. I don't know what, I thought Yogesh and I are working on the picture, and it should be this, so I will, we'll work on it. I think this one isn't quite ready for today. And I'm not sure why I can't paste the picture, but I'll deal with that in a minute. Um, and so this isn't quite ready, but Yogesh has been working on it. And then we are working on um, the definitions. So I worked on I put in the fault management definition. And so Anil, fault management is everything this document incorporates. So we're not that's not error handling. Error handling is a little more smaller than fault management. So um, so anyway, I put the definition back, and you can check that out. But this is a definition that has had a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah, I mean, after finishing this, if time permit, I want to share my thoughts on how I look at fault management and error handling and how they're interrelated. If time
Well, that's
permit,
what we're
I can share.
defining, and we disagreed with calling error management. Error handling is not the overall thing. Like this document is the overall thing, and it's OCP fault management infrastructure requirements. So, we should stick to that. We've been using it that way, and that's the way fault management has been used for years. This isn't a new thing.
Yeah, I just want to share. I'm not debating on this one right now. Let's finish our
Okay.
discussion here.
Okay.
And then just sharing our thoughts, right? And then aligning,
Sure.
and may not be conflicting each other. It's just that the different ways of looking at it, right?
Okay. So Mita, I know you didn't have time to work on this entirely, but I took a stab at some of it. I hope you don't mind, um, just for the sake of some progress.
By the way,
Um,
we should just finish this document, right? Because some of this discussions and fine tuning in the subsequent release can always be done. This is not
Agreed.
the last time we are going to discuss this, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm with you, and that's one of the reasons why I reverted the definitions to what they kind of were before. And
okay.
then the one thing that we did is last week we talked about this some, and we said, hey, all of this error flow really should be under error, and we should have subcategories. So, this is something that we agreed upon last week. And so I defined error, and it's a hard thing to define. So I don't know if I love this, but let's see what we think. Is this, and Dean, you in particular, had thought about this. So does this match with what you had said?
Not too well, I think. I don't have the other one handy in front of me, although I can open it. A few folks last week were going to look at it, but I think it's simpler than that, and it can be gotten out of the Evensys LaPrix document. It's essentially incorrect data or incorrect output, and you can sometimes say caused by a fault.
Let's see, incorrect data or incorrect output. I mean, and then I'm just trying to think. Sometimes it's the problem with that is that sometimes it's not incorrect data or incorrect output.
Sorry, where are you looking at definition of the error?
Yeah, we're talking about errors. And so Dean, like what about a corrected error? There is no incorrect output. It's
It
correct.
was incorrect, and then you fixed it.
Oh, you're saying it's incorrect at one point. Okay.
When it's an error, it's incorrect. When you fixed it, it's no longer an error. It's one of the reasons I say I make a differentiation between correctable error and corrected error.
So I guess, and you're saying they're sometimes caused by fault?
I'm going to find I found the document. Give me a couple minutes to find the description we're looking for.
And actually, I agree with, the problem is it may be a software. Yeah, I mean, I'm coming around to your definition, Dean. The problem with it being a hardware fault is that sometimes errors are caused by soft errors, right? And they're not a hardware fault.
That's true. And one of the things you have to do is restrain yourself from trying to explain the universe in a definition in a glossary. That's what all the other text is for. So in this LaPrix document, I always say LaPrix because I can't pronounce the other guy's name.
Dean, I've pasted the link to that document in the chat.
Okay, so I have it open on my end. An error is that part of the system state that may cause a subsequent failure. A fault is blah, blah. The fault is the cause of the error. So you can have software faults. In this taxonomy, you can have software faults too. I recommend you look at the document. Not now, of course, but I think your definition of error is a little too complicated. You want to keep it simple.
I
Is
agree.
this the paper that you're pointing to? Fundamental concept of dependability?
It's a link. Mita pasted the link just now.
Yeah, no, that's
Right.
what I just opened.
Yeah, that's it. Fundamental concepts
I
and
actually
dependability.
apologize because this was my AI to take care of it. I just couldn't get around to it this week.
Oh, I get it. And I'm not trying to be critical at all, Mita. I'm trying to wrap the document up, so I thought I'd force some progress.
So in this paper, where are you pointing or doing? Sorry, Drew.
I don't think I can find it fast enough, Neil.
Okay. Okay. I'll read also. Good. Thanks for
This is a paper I use every week, and I have for many, many years. So it's a good source.
Okay, very good. Thank you for sharing. Let me take a look at it. And maybe that's what I was pointing out, that maybe if time permits, I can share with my thoughts. I mean, I learn every day, so but I do want to share my learning so far, and then we can always update it. And by the way, what you're describing here in the glossary is aligning with my understanding for the error, defining an error point of view. So there's an error, maybe part of the error definition, error detection, logging, signaling, reporting. I think there are 4 components. And sometimes the signaling reporting is ambiguous. So if you want to call that separately, that's fine too. Because depending upon the point of view, signaling reporting could be different of opinions.
Well, we had a long discussion last week, almost the whole meeting, and concluded this. So that's where it's a little you know,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't-
this good. This fine. I'm okay with this. Five sub bullets under the error. I don't see any problem with that. So
Okay.
if you're asking, Drew, is that okay to move ahead with this? I mean, I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that, or you want to change further?
Sorry, I didn't. So what's the question?
Oh, Dean suggested this, so he was asking, "Are you okay with this direction?" And I think you're the one that suggested we organize it this way, which I'm fine with, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
the reason the problem we had was it's in alphabetical order, but some concepts came sort of out of alphabetical order. So somebody, it wasn't me, suggested let's define error and then define the subcategories of error.
Mhm.
And that made it easier as you were reading through. It made it more coherent. So I like that approach.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
so can you paste the definition you have out of that doc in? I'll just paste
I
it
put
in.
it in the chat actually.
Oh, perfect. And we'll start with that.
So the simpler term that I use, Drew, just so you know, internally, both at AMD and now at ARM, is an error is incorrect data or execution resulting from a fault. The
I think you
definition
just
that
said
Mita,
you just said that. Let's just type that, because that is exactly what I would expect also.
yeah, it's simple. And the definition that Mita posted is more complete, but it's long. So
Okay, so let's say it again.
let me type it in. I can actually cut and paste it from my own stuff.
Sure.
I get it when you said it, so I can write it also, because I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay, I just put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Capitalization is wrong, but
Yeah, an error is incorrect data or execution resulting from a fault.
Well, I would leave it at this, because what about a soft error? Soft error is not a fault.
in their taxonomy, it would be considered a fault, but it's a different kind of fault. So I'm fine with what you said.
But software is a fault, right?
Soft error is a kind of fault, yeah.
It
Okay.
shows up as a, yeah.
Well, okay, I guess I'll buy that. Okay.
In the fault definition, then you can change the hardware to a system. Like in the
What's
fault definition, the answers you have written, fault is something that causes hardware to malfunction. It's like a system that malfunctions.
Okay.
Sorry, the sentence is sort of a bit. So an error is incorrect data, or so an error is result of.
So
It's correct.
there's actually a couple of things wrong with that. So I don't think you should say system. In the LaPrix taxonomy, that would be a failure, which is different. So faults cause errors, and errors can cause failures. Also, the hardware detects the fault. So hardware does not detect faults. Hardware detects errors. And from
That's
the
right.
error, you infer a fault.
That's right.
Sure. So detects
But
an error.
failures could be caused irrespective of error was detected or not.
Correct.
So it has nothing to do with detection of error. Faults cause failures.
Faults cause errors, and errors cause failures.
Yes.
In
Like-
their taxonomy, not, I mean, that's just one group's taxonomy, but I think it's a good one. And it
Well,
doesn't
in
have anything to
fact,
do with detection.
I'm sorry. There are too many people talking. So I'm sorry. I just can't keep up. So what do I need to change then, Dean? Can you tell me what you're thinking? It's just hard to keep up.
Fault is something that causes an error.
Okay. That causes an error. Thank you.
And the second sentence is true, but again, you're starting to explain what to do with things. It's okay to leave it, but I just want to suggest the whole document is for that, not the glossary.
Is there a diagram anywhere in this document to establish this relation between these terminologies?
There's a great, yes, there's a great on page 3, figure 5.
By the way, I have a I have a diagram that I wanted to share today. Drew and I put together that after a lot of debate and brainstorming. So I was hoping that we can finish this and then discuss that. But if you want, I can flash it right now.
Yeah. So just a point over here. Apparently, it seems there is now recursion over there. Like when we have definition of fault and we have definition of the error, so they refer each other. Do we want that reference? I mean, could be there,
I'm
but
sorry, go back. Let's see. So I'm sorry, I was just trying to put that doc in as a reference, and I'll go fix that. A fault is something that causes an error. An error occurs from a fault. That is very circular.
No,
yes.
a fault
Uh,
causes an error occurs from a fault. It's absolutely correct.
Yeah, and
But-
error
but-
eventually results into some error, some of the error type result in some failures.
So I just mentioned the figure in the document, but I also posted it a snapshot in the
Yeah,
chat. Fault, if it's activated, causes an error. If the error is propagated, it causes a failure.
yes.
It's a straight linear relationship. The words may have confused things, but it's not circular.
Yeah. Actually, if you suggest, I can share
and,
a
fault
diagram.
always comes first. Yeah, I think that the
Yes.
fault occurs first, and that leads to an error.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
I'm so eager to share diagram that I put together that might help in explaining.
Okay.
If you want me to share.
Okay, are we at the point where we're ready? I just want to make sure I get the edits, the immediate edit.
Yeah, let's finish that, and because it's important to finish the document so that we can get away.
Well,
And
Well, I'm just saying, like, finish the conversation we're having. So I made those edits, and then hardware detects. Maybe it's just detects a fault. I don't know. Well, so it's really the side effects of a fault and reacts to them, right? You don't detect the fault directly.
That's right.
Okay. So are we okay? I mean, are you generally that seems consistent with what you're saying? Is
error
it?
detection is when a fault is detected. Just leave it there.
No, it's not a fault because you don't detect faults.
Yes, you do, right? That's what we call error.
You detect the side effects of a fault. If I detected a fault, I could tell you what a fault occurred.
Oh, okay. I see your point. Yeah. So yes. I mean, if you're very particular about the language, yes.
And maybe I just get rid of reacts to them in the interest of Dean's simplicity.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the side effect. Side effect is the key because we're inferring, right?
Right.
Okay. And I like it. That's very simple and small. Okay. Error logging.
So for error logging, you are stating the different stages of error log in the hardware, in the software, in the tool,
Yes.
right? Okay.
No, generic error logging, whether hardware, it could be actually in a typical system, there'll be a hardware log, there's a software log, firmware log, but error logging in general, it's a simple thing, right? Which is the way it is written here. Error logs is the process of saving information about an error. Now, whether it's hardware or software or firmware, that's all depends upon the context. But in fact, I don't mind just starting with the second sentence because that's what it is. Right? Error logging is a process of saving error
hold on
information.
though. Are you saying delete this?
No, I'm saying that first sentence, error logging is used very broadly in refer. That's kind of noise to me. Right.
Okay.
The second sentence is what's really essential. Error logging is a process of saving information about an error. And we should just stop right there, in fact. That's it.
Okay. I'm fine with
Right?
that.
Collecting the error data in software and sending data, those are all like additional details.
What we talked about last week, Anil, and I don't know if we captured, was the difference between the hardware capturing error information into registers and the software receiving error data, whether it's directly or from a CPER, and putting it into larger scale logs, circular buffers or external memory or storage. So I know I differentiate between the first error capture recording and error logging, which software does. I don't know if we need to do that here, but We did have that discussion last week.
Yeah, Dean, I agree, right? We talked about that under error reporting.
It was part of
Logging
reporting.
was in the hardware and the reporting part was where the software gets involved. And
Yeah, and that's how I was kind of internally in my mind, because logging and reporting is kind of so much of overlap there. But if you want to differentiate it all, it will be logging, immediate logging, probably most
Well,
likely hardware.
the problem is that we call CPERs error logs. And so the act of collecting error logs is logging. So logging
CPER is not error log, CPER is error reporting.
it's frequently called logging though. It's just
I mean, the nomenclature, common platform error report, sorry,
record.
error record. Oh, sorry, yes, error record, which is, okay, sorry, my bad. So using error record is same as error log, okay. Yes.
It's pretty, I mean, like we're splitting hairs here.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
So, and so I think that if it matters, my advice to folks is let's just not get too uptight and split too many hairs. And if you want to talk about what's happening in a register, say logging it in a register. And if you say, if you're talking about the bigger process, you just got to be explicit when you mention it. I don't think we can get away from that. You know, that I'm collecting the error logs and building a pipeline to deliver them to tools, you know. So I think we just have to, that's going to be near impossible to clear that up without more work.
Yeah, so I think logging is fine. About error, collecting the error data in software and sending the data to tools where it can be analyzed.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if that sentence, second part is necessary, but if you want to keep it, that's fine. In that case, your error logging is pretty much comprising error reporting also.
How about we collect the error data in software? We can end it there. I don't really care. I mean, why are you logging if you don't analyze? So it's, I don't know.
Because we are breaking it down further, right? That's why error logging is first step, and then collecting and collaging and.
So I mean, if you want the shortest definition,
that's it. This is it. Then after that is signaling, right? And then whoever receives the signal will collect.
Yeah,
and get the information and post process.
The signaling one seems pretty simple to me.
Which error handlers are not? Yeah, that's it. Very good. And then error reporting is error reporting is use 25 and error detect. No. Error reporting is to.
I don't know what this is. And I really don't know what error reporting is versus error logging.
Yeah, that's what I was debating. Right? So
reporting is sending the information, and logging is taking the information that you've received and putting it in some permanent or semi-permanent storage.
Then that's where I think that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I used logging different than you do. So, sorry, I'll take that back. You guys say logging. Unfortunately, inside ARM we say recording, and when we say logging, we mean writing it into logs.
Yeah, that's
by
not
software. But I'm not trying to change everybody's mind here about that.
Yeah. So error reporting is so we are kind of splitting between signaling and reporting, right? So if you want to do that, to be honest with you, I don't know if you want to really.
I'm inclined to just delete it.
Yeah, take this reporting out of the thing. If somebody say, okay, what does reporting means, right? I think it's kind of between logging and signaling or combination two.
Okay. Maybe
error reporting is a very generic term for logging and signaling. Or signaling and logging, depending on in what context.
Yeah, I think it should be, it's kind of built into the error handling, right?
Yeah, and error handling is much more generic term, which include everything. I mean, detection, logging, signaling together is error handling, and maybe somewhere in the reporting. Error handling is
but I don't think of error handling as fault management. Like error handling is what the system does on its own. Fault management is like a whole systems engineering discipline. It's all the things we're talking about here, where we model errors, we design logging solutions, we analyze them and drive actions back. It's the discipline, where error handling is just kind of thing hardware does when it gets an error.
I agree. In other words, I call error handling is within the platform, and fault management is overall infrastructure level.
Okay, so we're aligned now.
Yeah.
And I think this says the system takes, so that implies in the platform.
Yeah.
Well,
If
that's
you want to be
good.
more precise, you can say error handling is the operational action and relies on about 3 things, like detection, logging, signaling, or comprise of 3 things. Plus, right? Error handling is a combination of.
This is how it's now seems right. We detect, we log, we signal, then we handle. And
Well, I think
simplicity is good as well, right?
I think Anil was saying that handling included detection, logging, and signaling.
And processing. I mean,
Oh
so
gosh.
handling is, you
Oh
can
gosh,
say,
no, no.
Handling doesn't include those things, right? The first step is you detect the error. The second step is you log the error. The third step is you are signaling the error that has been logged. And then the fourth step is based on the signaling, you're handling the error.
Okay, fine.
I agree with
That's
that.
not how I think and handling is a very generic term, which includes everything, but yeah, I'm okay with that.
It can be used generically, but if you think about the signal wakes up a handler. So the handler does the handling.
Well, and that signal the handler might be hardware, it might be software too. So, right, like if you do a PCI link width reduction because you had too many retries in a row, that's error handling, but the hardware just did it. And then there may be poison recovery. That's error handling in the OS.
Okay. Error handling is an operational action the system takes in response to an error.
And in both of those examples, that's an action, right?
Okay, I'm okay with that. I was being very naive in terms of using handling as a word handling.
Okay.
Right? In a simplistic term, but I get it. I understand now.
Okay, well, I think Mita, your action item, I wasn't trying to step on your toes at all, Mita, but I just thought we can hammer this out if Mita's still here. Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm gonna resolve this.
If at all in the error, an error is incorrect data or execution from a fault, it can be further defined into following 3 parts, something like that. I don't know. You want to kind of complete the sentence there, right? Or clarify why are you breaking down into 4 things? Because it is 4 things are part of the error. Oh, sorry, 4 are the sub classification of error.
Oh, well, they're related. They're like the sequence. Maybe we say the following things might happen when an error occurs. I don't.
Yeah, the following are the further clarification of how an error is managed or something like that. Okay, good. Then it kind of completes the thought.
Cool. We did it. Okay, I'm going to mark that one. And then, Anil, you mentioned this, and I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but like it's always used to, it's used to reflect the aggregate reliability, but you can also, you can use it lots of different ways, but I think it's fine. I don't know. Do I need to change this definition?
If you don't make that clearly that the fit is used in the context of single machine, but we do use in a large cluster also as an inference, as a more of a indirect correlation. But if you look at the fit definition, traditionally is in the context of a single system running over time. That's
Sorry, I have to disagree.
Though, right?
It has to do with device hours.
Yeah.
It could be one device for 1 billion hours, or 1 billion devices for 1 hour.
Exactly.
I sometimes tell people who think 1 billion is crazy, it's parts per million per 1,000 hours. So it's anything but a single machine.
I beg to differ, but I don't want to debate here, because if you go back in the past history of how failures have been defined, when the machine once machine is powered up, it stays up, and once it fails, it's failed. That's it. There's no part of restarting and all that. So in that context, a single machine would fail in time.
But like if I go to, if Charlie was here, he's big in device reliability, and all the device reliability folks use FIT as the aggregate. It's just device hours, and you can slice it any way you want, based on the number of devices you're looking at.
I think that's fine. I don't think the tricky part here is how do you compute, and then you apply some sort of probabilistic behavior. If the devices are exactly same type of devices,
it's absolutely probabilistic. Yeah, everything we're
Very
doing
much
is
is.
probabilistic.
And it's precisely an exponential distribution.
Yeah.
Right?
What I'm saying is you can't add, if you have a billion devices, you can't add the billion devices failure time in simple addition.
Yeah, that's exactly the purpose of it, Anil. It's what you cannot do is say I have this many nines and then add those up. That doesn't work. Instead, we use fits for this exact purpose. You can add it together, multiply it, divide it.
I'm about to pop, yeah. That is exactly what we do. So if you have 4 parts with 25 fit, you have a total of 100 fit. That is exactly that is why I push for that.
Okay, so it is a longer discussion. I can maybe put together some examples to say that this doesn't make sense to me, but
Well, no,
I don't know.
I'm talking the device like IRPS, the conference. You talk to the device reliability folks, and when they build failure model, like I build failure models for chips with our device reliability folks, and that is exactly why they like FIT. Like that is the very reason it exists, and they use it over MTBF, because when you add MTBF, you have to invert all the terms and add all the terms.
You're right. Absolutely. That I agree with you, but there's an underlying assumption that the probability distribution is equal for all the devices, and if not, then you can't add them.
Right. So, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I don't think you're saying different things. There are some devices which are like in NICs, they are doing packet processing and up and down the stack, right? Their footprint of the application is constant, but for CPUs or clusters, training clusters, the workload or the application you're running plays a role.
Well, but even then, the way this works with these reliability fixes, I've actually been doing a lot with this lately, like with the device reliability folks. And the way it works is it's a constant failure rate, because you're not assuming infant mortality. Your beta is 1 if you're doing a libel.
That's a very big assumption, right?
And yes, that is what FIT is. That's how FIT is used. Yeah. And the deal with Weibel, though, it's an exponential distribution.
Exactly.
When you have a constant failure rate, because what happens is as things fall out of your fleet gets smaller.
Right. But that is the assumption made that all the devices follow exponential probability of failure.
Well, you can theoretically have different distributions, but you have to state that when you use FIT.
Yes. Yeah, as long as you make that statement, that's okay.
But that's irrelevant to the definition of FIT.
But this is the standard definition for FIT that has been used for, I don't know, since the beginning of time, right? This is the definition that has been used.
Yes. And Tanya, I've been looking at
definition is correct
recently with that you used it.
Yeah, the definition is correct, but then when you put the example of 1,000 devices, that's where I was questioning.
Well, that's how it's used.
Yeah, that
I understand, bro. That's how you, but there's an assumption made there.
That is, but if you go to any device, that's what I'm telling you. You go to any device reliability expert. So Bill Tian at Google, Charlie at Cisco. We've got reliability people there. Anyone that does device reliability uses it that way.
Okay, I think consistency here is just leave it the way it is, right?
So yeah, and if you can show us how it's wrong, but I would argue like talk to Charlie about it. Is Charlie here today? We're missing him when we need him. So Charlie is actually very, very well known in that community. Like when I went to IRPS, he was a rock star. Everyone knew him. So okay, I'm going to mark it as resolved. But Anil, why don't we talk about with Charlie and he is like actually one of the world's experts on that. So we can,
in a simplistic term, this is fine, but then we missed that assumption part here. But I think it's okay.
Well, we're
I
not
don't know
going to
any
talk about,
anybody.
we're not going to do viable beta analysis here, right?
No, but that we have to see the moment we start making those numbers, right? 1,000 devices and all that, right? You're really giving a prescription that somebody can just do the math as simple math. And to be honest with you, you're right. I mean, we do that, but you have to be careful, right? When you write it down in a requirement document like this.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what is there is incorrect, but we're trying to keep all the definitions concise anyway. Let's not give the example that will end the conversation here, right?
Sure. Yeah, we can delete that.
Yeah, then I'm at peace. Then because definition wise is correct, and that's it. That's good enough. How to use it is where I think become very kind of.
Yeah,
I'm not debating with in terms of. I'm not saying that what Charlie and you discussed is wrong. Sorry if I said that. It's just that there is assumptions made there, which if you don't state, then the context can be taken out
that's
of
why I
context.
really want you to have the debate with Charlie, like, because he was like the chair of the IRPS conference. You know, he's well known in that community. So
yeah, I would love to have a discussion. And if Charlie says no, there's no assumption there, is it universal truth?
no, the assumption it's not that. It's the assumptions are known there and understood.
Yeah.
But let's have that with him.
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. I have fault management up above. And we had error reporting that has similar to, I say we just delete this.
Yeah, this is something I was putting in the past, and I agree that you can delete the last and it is also called our. I was trying to correlate, and then I also struggled with making the sentence. So
well, I think if we just delete the whole thing, because we have
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Because we
now
have
we did use hardware fault management somewhere, right? So just make sure that you make that connection there.
Okay.
Right. So basically what you're saying is in the glossary we have fault management, which is same as hardware fault management, right?
Well, then yeah, that's hardware. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you've made these changes. Click.
I was just clearing the text. Yeah. To me, it flows better, but again, if you don't want to modify further, it's okay.
I don't think it matters. I think it's pretty clear. Only thing I would tweak is I would say, let's see, running the host to collect just error logs. Clear the logs. Error logs. Yeah, it's an English thing. It's just if you're saying you're doing something generic, you wouldn't say, and you haven't previously referred to it, you wouldn't say the. So other than that, it looks fine with me. And I would say I'll do the same thing here. Clear error logs, take appropriate error actions. Okay, and then you did it. You have the IMA definition. That looks fine to me. I think we're really close. Let's see if we can finish the glossary today.
You go, Drew. We all will keep quiet. You finish it.
Okay, well, I think I'm just inclined to just accept it. We can read it. Let's see. Hardware detects an error, logs the error, directly signals the operating system for their handling. This usually requires an agent. That's fine with me. Although, I might say that it would be okay to just delete that because we also have the in-band management agent, but I don't really care. But other than that, I think we're done. Oh, nope, there's one more.
Yeah, you can delete the last sentence if you want. This was all after writing down, I have questioned myself also.
Okay, I think let's see. Well, and in the spirit of less words, the better. Okay. And then Charlie worked on this, but he couldn't make it this week, but he's emailed me some stuff. But I think I'm wondering if it's going to be a big discussion.
The reset is a big one, yes. Let's wait for Charlie to come with, and if it looks simpler enough, then we can keep it there.
And
Otherwise,
if
this
it ends up
requires
being a
suction.
big debate, I don't know about you, Neil. I'd rather just get this out. And then
Yeah.
I want to work on resets, but maybe we get it out and do those later.
Did we use reset terminology anywhere in this document, right? So let me check
Yeah,
for
we
it.
talked about warm resets.
So just define warm reset. That's it. Don't make it too complex right now. That would be my recommendation, because reset is a pretty big topic.
Yes.
Yeah, I see a lot of places reset being used, by the way. Or maybe not. This
Reset, warm
non-fatal errors
reset,
and reset feasible.
wasn't it?
Yeah, we use the reset feasible concept, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
in all those cases, reset the context was hard, like a warm reset.
Let's see. Warm. No, I don't think all of them. Yeah, see, if I search for warm, there's a warm reset.
Oh yeah, there's a warm reset. Yeah.
So there is a mention of it. I think we got rid of some of the mentions, but okay. And then reset is going to be used a boatload of times.
Yeah, context of all the reset I'm seeing right now are like from a warm reset point of view. Oh, in the ARM world, Dean, you probably know that.
Well, some of them were cold, and I mean, there are definitely cold resets mentioned too.
Up to it? I see.
There, you know. So I think we had both. I don't know. I think let's see what Charlie comes up with. If it becomes a debate, maybe we defer it.
Yes, I think if everybody okay with that, let's go with that approach. Give one more week,
Oh,
and then
here's
we
the
can.
drawing I thought I pasted. Okay, I'll put this back. And next week I propose we come back to the section that Yogesh is updating.
Okay.
And then we're going to be like 90% of the way, or I'm sorry, 99% of the way done. I'm scrolling through this.
Yeah, it looks good.
I think we're getting close, and I'm going to delete this table of contents and use the spec form. This isn't spec consistent, so I'm going to remove this one. This one is, like the OCP format. This is the, if I can, I may need to fix.
So Drew, something happened when I updated the table of content. There were originally page numbers there, and they're gone. So I tried to create a new one, and that one had those hyperlinks, but not page numbers still. So I don't know if someone knows how to do that or whatever is the best.
Yeah, it's right here. Table of contents options and show page numbers.
Oh, wow, thanks.
And I'm going to try an experiment here and see if
I was playing with those. How many headings we need really? 2 is good enough, I think. 3 is too much.
Yeah, but it's picking up these bullets, which is frustrating.
Yeah, we had to change that to some other numbers, not like maybe Romans or something, not, whatever is the format called.
Well, I see. That's not an artifact. That's really there.
Yeah, no, I know that, but it's there because one after one after one after one, like that same number format.
Instead of using the bullet there, we can use sub number, right? So then it will.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Or
So
you got to manually do it. There's no sub numbering, unfortunately.
you see how after 3 you have another 1 and then another, then 2, 3, and then 4. I mean, I don't know. And then 8. It's just.
It's a mess.
This is all the formatting stuff. Maybe we can work offline. There are only 3 minutes left. I want to give a quick update on the meeting that I attended on the JDAC. I know 3 minutes may not be sufficient, but I want to just.
Okay, I'll stop sharing and it's all yours.
Yeah, so I attended JDAC meeting last week. This was in Taiwan. And the context was LPDDR6 RAS requirements. And in some sense, I was representing a lot of work that we do from a fault handling point of view. and sharing with the broader JDA community how the RAS requirements should be factored into the spec. What are the key things we need from JDA community? The net result of that was so in LPDDR, first of all, LPDDR6, I'm assuming we all know what LPDDR6 is. It's a low power DDR 6th generation. Primarily LPDDR is used in the handheld devices like Apple phones and you name it, like watches and any kind of low power devices.
Sorry, Anil, are you presenting something or just speaking off the cuff right now?
I was just speaking out loudly because we don't have enough time here.
Okay, go ahead.
But if you want, let me see if I can find that presentation. I don't mind sharing because it's not JDEC property. I did use a format. Let's see if I can find that. It's just we'll run out of time, looks like. Okay.
Oh gosh, the formatting of this doc, by the way, is really messed up. Okay, I'll fix it. I mean, I don't know if I can, but I'm not talking about your doc, Emil. I'm talking about this one.
I know. I'm trying to find the right one. Sorry. Okay, I did find it, and let me share. Just don't take any snapshots. So the context of this presentation was LPDDR6 RAS at a high level from a hyperscaler point of view, and then describing in more detail about specific RAS features. So at the high level, the way we look at RAS is how we measure the impact, and the annual failure rate and the drop rate are the two metrics we use to evaluate and the effectiveness of the reliability and the quality. We also want to make sure that the 7-day data error quality is minimal or zero, close to zero. Error logging monitoring should be as precise as possible. And when it comes to trade-off between RAS and performance capacity, should be acknowledged and understood, and don't compromise on RAS to get the best performance. And the reference here really is DDR5. So, and we call out that BAE DDR5 would be a good comparison with LPDDR, and as long as we are LPDDR6 as we're defining is close to that, that's is what our target is. And then I described in next level details in terms of what are the capability, the features we require within the DRAM or DRAM, within DRAM, and then the capabilities or features where DRAM and controller together that we need, and then the features which are controller specific and the controller platform. So the scope of the requirements changes. So from a JDA point of view, I really focus primarily on this slide. And I also didn't have enough time, so I didn't go through the ones which are green, because here I think this is the first time presenting. So some of these features are already baked into the spec, the LPDDR6 spec that exists today. 0.2 version will be released pretty soon. And then the JDA community is working on the next release. That next release actually will have these capabilities that are green, already green. The one which is on yellow marker, or the highlighted, are the one that are still there are gaps in the way that JEDEC spec is trending towards. So, and that's where I highlighted the things which call to action kind of thing that JEDEC community need to help us. One was command address parity. Right now, the way it is defined is a blocking. That means the recovery or retry would not work. So every command address parity will become a fatal event, interruption, job interruption on that. So I made a request to develop a solution where we can do a blocking, just like in DDF4 we used to have. And I did not sense that anybody was opposing to that, except saying that it's a little bit hard, but they can still evaluate and come back with the solution.
Well, and Neil, I had a discussion, with a memory vendor, and our conclusion was that LPDDR has actually substantial concerns with SDC, crash rates, you name it. But I mean, like it's not even close, right? I mean, HBM has higher SDC rates than DDR, and then LPDDR is the absolute worst of the bunch because it was designed for clients with really wide parts, so it's hard to implement something like a chip kill ECC on it.
So LPDDR, so you're right, LP5 is where we found those gaps, and some of them were addressed by revised Solomon implementation, but still there was a huge delta, as you just mentioned. But LP6, so learning from LP5, that's where this JEDEC community started working on LP6 with a better RAS. And the way right now it is defined, the risk of silent error is very low. Basically, it's very in par with by8 DDR5.
Well, that kind of contradicts what I understand from.
No, but your understanding of a DDR5, not DDR6. Unless you're saying
no, this is a memory vendor and I talking, and this particular person was aware of D6. So I'll circle back with them and ask.
Yeah.
But and I've talked to our internal memory team at Microsoft, and we're worried about LPDDR6.
Yep.
So
no, I mean, I can download. I mean, in the subsequent meeting, right? I can share the model, and I don't mind even sharing. I mean, within our OCP community, what model we put together and how we evaluate.
I'd like to understand why you're coming to that conclusion, because it's different than what we're concluding, and so maybe we're missing. But the thing that bothers me is the memory vendor is telling us this too. So I'd love to know what you know.
For DDR6 again, I'm going to repeat my question.
Yeah, the LP6 is
okay. I want to hear that more. That's not.
And I can't speak that too clearly because it's a memory vendor. Like it's their IP. It was a protected conversation. But I'll try to follow up on our side to learn more. And if you show me your model, I'll try to see if there's something that somebody missed.
Yeah. Sure.
And I'm aware of some of the tricks that people use to make LP more reliable. But it helps, but it's not great.
And I know we have 7 minutes past. I mean, the other area that requires additional ballot and proposal is this ECS transparency. We don't have, as per the spec today, the way defined, there's no programmable threshold concept. So, and that also committee agreed that, yep, it's doable, write a proposal, they'll consider it. The bounded fault is already actually incorporated now. There's already a proposal from an associate vendor. I will not call the name here. So that actually already baked in now. Will be baked into the spec.
Yeah, I think, and there'll be some future news on bounded fault, but bounded fault was a home run and a half. It was spectacularly successful because DDR, not LP, but DDR is DDR5 is where bounded fault was implemented is phenomenally reliable compared to previous generation. So yeah, I think what you're saying makes sense, and we just have to figure out why we're hearing different things on other parts. The other thing I'd like, Neil, and I don't know if this is a good thing to mention to you, is when we have things like ECS, we really, like what we're finding in FM is that ECS is a problem because it it in, it inhibits your ability to see where single bit errors are occurring. And so, one thing I would like to consider at some point is, can we have error logging on the part such that we can get a representative sample of those corrected errors within the part?
Yeah, and that's what this transparency concept, right?
Well, the transparency concept historically has been a watered down version of transparency that says, well, we're giving you enough data. Here's the row that had the most errors. And what I'm talking about is I would like error logging such that I can say, for the first corrected error that occurred in this part, here's the exact bit that was flipped. And I don't have to wait 24 hours for it. I just log it. When I log it and clear it, then I can come around and read mode registers an hour later and get the next corrected memory error that occurred. And not all of them. I'm just saying, one. But
so let's do this way. Let's brainstorm. Let's put together a ballot. I don't mind Microsoft Meta together. Proposing a ballot for the enhanced transparency. You can call whatever you want to call that, right? And
okay,
let's put it together, right? I think Jira committee, one thing I learned, they are they are all engineers, okay, and very detail oriented engineers, and they love to see the proposals, implementation ideas, and a lot of people debate, but then at the end, we come up with the right solution, the right recommendation and spec. So
yeah,
I was very pleased.
I'm happy to work with you on that, but I will have to pull in some other people at Microsoft because I'm not the official person, so we need to I need to do it the right way. But yeah, I think that let's explore some things there.
Sure.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't want to take too much time. At already 10 minutes past. So, and net was very informative for me, and also I think the community has a better understanding of why RAS matters for us for hyperscalers, and there was a pretty solid approval that yes, we acknowledge and LP6 one of the use case. So the reason why they were so excited, because the whole community is looking at cloud use case for LP6 as a huge value add or uplift from the volume. So they're willing to support us in improving the RAS implementation and the spec in LP6. So that was a very big thing for us.
Like if we could, like bounded fault was a big hit because of the way mats are laid out in DRAM. Maybe, if we could do something where we break an LP part up and, we can have super bounded fault for LP such that we could implement, bounded fault kill. Maybe that would help. I don't know. But we need to watch this because I'm just not sure how LP6 is going to be all that good. So I would love that. I'd love to be wrong though, Neil. So I'm hoping I can keep my words.
Yeah. I mean, there's all the incremental improvements over time, right? Things doesn't happen overnight. So LP6 where it was, LP where it was, and now where we're going, I think in the right direction. We may not be 100% there, but this is much better than what I was hoping or concerned about. So yeah, we can talk more. Yeah.
Probably a dumb question. What you're envisioning this LP6 replacing? Like, is it the DRAM DIMMs or the HBM? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a alternate solution to, I would say, DDR6. Okay, so DDR6 is all pushed out quite a bit, and there's a huge gap being created between now and let's say 2007, between now and 2007, for 3 years. Oh, sorry,
Well,
3 years, yeah.
We used LP6 in a previous life in an accelerator as well.
You mean LP5,
Instead of
not LP6?
It's cheap HBM because it had enough bandwidth. But the way I think of it is LP is performant, and it has attractive performance characteristics and extremely unattractive reliability characteristics. And so certain vendors have used LP to speed up their products, but at the cost of STC and reliability.
So
Right.
Drew, when you say you're using in the past, I think you're referring to LP5, right?
Yeah.
LP6 doesn't exist today.
Yeah, no, LP5, LP4. There's a history here.
Yes,
but,
exactly, and I agree with you, right?
Yeah, but that's why people like it. It's the same. The reason that he's asking why they use it, and so I'm saying we've used it in the past, but it had a problem, and so, but because we're using it in the data center, there's incentive to fix those problems, and I'm 100% aligned with you on that, Anil. And so maybe they've done it.
Yep.
I don't know.
But will it be a specific variant for data center, or you're kind of, when you go to JEDEC, it's like across all variants, and predominantly it's client oriented. So all of them, are there any trade-offs with performance when they introduce these various RAG features which Anil was talking about?
There's
Like,
always
Yeah, that's a good point, right? So the intention is, from a DRAM DRAM vendor's point of view, to define one device that they can scale it to the automotive use case, the client use case, as well as cloud use case. So the fundamental
they
DRAM
will be,
device is still same from the same die, right? But it'll be qualified, tested to different levels for three different use cases.
Well, and to be really careful here, because we can't talk about the details too much. There may be things that you can do with an LP part that are more data center specific, and I just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there may be options there.
Yeah.
And
So,
those are good options. Yeah, that you know, if that's the path to making LP6 more reliable, then great. You know, there's some tricks that people.
I mean, in the future meetings, I can come back with
Hey
clarifying.
guys, thanks for staying 15 minutes over. I was debating on whether or not to do it, but next Thursday, a lot of folks have this holiday because of Juneteenth. So maybe we can cancel next Friday's meeting because it gives people long weekend.
I'll be gone too. So that
So
sounds good.
yeah, take as much more time today as you want. That's all.
No, I think I need to run. I'm already way late for my next
we are
meeting.
almost there. 45 more minutes and we'll
Hey.
All right, Dr. Ritter, thank you.
Hey, Yogesh.
Yeah.
Yogesh, do you have some time to chat for a minute?
Let me call you. Actually, I just texted you. Let me call you on your phone.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Yep. Have a good weekend. Bye.